So here's something I've been thinking a lot about lately. Why isn't there a king of MMOs on console? Like, think about it. Shooters have games like Call of Duty, Apex, Battlefield. RPGs have games like Elden Ring or Skyrim or The Witcher. But when it comes to MMOs on console, there's not really one that comes to mind. Yes, you've got Final Fantasy XIV, you've got Elder Scrolls Online, you've got Destiny 2. They're all good games, but none of them really dominate the console space. A game that is, I would say, maybe the best MMO on console is New World. Now, New World's not even anything amazing, but it is just a polished, chill MMO that feels really good on controller. But the fact that even a game like this can compete for the top spot shows how wide open the MMO genre still is. Today, I want to talk about MMOs on console, and we'll also talk a bit about New World. So obviously MMOs were made to be played with a mouse and a keyboard, and it is a work of art to even make it work on console using just a controller. But what I think could happen is we just need a simple MMO that runs smoothly on consoles and gives us a chill game to grind to. I honestly think if they just threw RuneScape on console, it would be popular amongst console players. Especially with the way that we play such intense games, it's so nice to just have a nice chill MMO to fall back on. I also feel like a lot of the games that are on console as MMOs, you can feel that they were made for the PC and they're just ported over and they tried their best. Let's talk about some of the best current MMOs on console. First one is Final Fantasy XIV. I spent a lot of time playing this game. I actually made a lot of content about this game, and this game is really good. It's honestly very comparable to World of Warcraft, but a lot more story-driven. I will say using the controller is not that great. It's a lot better using the mouse and keyboard. But this is definitely a good option. This one does demand a lot of time and does get kind of complex as you get down the line with it. There is also so much content in this game that it is kind of intimidating. Another really good MMO that was ported over to the console is Elder Scrolls Online. This is definitely another one of those really good options. Basically, if you love just questing in open worlds and you love the Skyrim kind of vibe, this is the game for you. It's good for solo players and for people who want to play this with their friends. The only thing with this game is the combat doesn't feel as good as it did in games like Skyrim. The visuals are also a little bit outdated. It doesn't look amazing. But if you're someone who really likes the lore of the Elder Scrolls series, this is absolutely the game for you, and it does work fairly well on console. Now, I would say this game probably functions the best overall on console, and that's Destiny 2. Destiny 2 makes me honestly sad to even talk about because this game had the potential to be literally the best game ever made, in my opinion. I think Destiny has some of the most fun gameplay out of any game ever. And that is totally present in Destiny 2. However, what these developers chose to do over time with this game completely ruined it. There is so much monetization present within this game, and there's not even that much content. And you will literally have to pay for DLCs and only get to use a fraction of those DLCs. The gameplay loop in itself isn't very approachable anymore, and it's not new player friendly at all. It makes me sad because truthfully, this game should have been the one to completely dominate MMOs on console. But now in 2025, it honestly looks like Destiny is on its way to actually dying. There are some other MMO options too, like I've played a little bit of Black Desert Online. I saw they just added the Wizard 101 game, and I could totally be wrong here, but Throne and Liberty almost looks like a worse version of New World. So that transitions me perfectly to New World. So New World is what I would say is the most polished, complete MMO on console. It feels super smooth, it has a ton of gameplay options, and it honestly feels like the first MMO that was built for console. You can do all sorts of grinding like fishing, crafting, and then there's a whole bunch of different ways to progress your combat. And this game gives you so many different options as far as combat style goes. It's honestly a really good mix of some intense gameplay, but then also a lot of chill, grindy gameplay, which is exactly what I look for in a game. With that being said, it's still not anything crazy, and it doesn't absolutely captivate me, and I've never been obsessed with it. I think it's kind of crazy that this game is able to be the best on the consoles, as far as MMOs go. I really feel like there is an opportunity for a company to just take a console MMO game very seriously because I think there's a whole untapped market. Like I said earlier in this video, I feel like each genre almost has its own leader within each genre. So you have the Forza games for racing, you have maybe the FIFA games for the sports games, you have the Civ games for strategy games, Stardew you think of as far as cozy game goes. Even when you think of MMO, most people usually go right to World of Warcraft. But when you get more specific and you ask about the MMO on console, I feel like there isn't one that most people think of. Maybe it's Final Fantasy XIV, but I really think that's an acquired taste and only works for some people. I would love it if an MMO took the best of all these games and we had a really polished, pretty looking game like New World, a game that was super open world and free like Elder Scrolls Online, a game that came with such enjoyable, smooth gameplay like Destiny 2, but then also a game that's very story rich and is made with love like Final Fantasy XIV. So is New World the best MMO on console for sure? I don't know if I would necessarily say that, but in my opinion, I do think it is maybe the best. But I can't stress enough, I don't think that is that much of a high praise, and that is the whole point of this video. If I owned a large game company and I had the power to invest in any game, I would choose to invest in a console MMO. I think there is a whole untapped market within the console MMO space. And I think it's perfect for consoles because chilling on the couch and grinding while you're watching TV or listening to something is honestly more sustainable than sitting up against the computer screen. I honestly get so uncomfortable when I sit at my monitor and desk for a period of time. That's just the personal trainer in me. But I would really like to hear what you guys think about this subject. I would be curious to hear first what you guys think about my point about the MMO opportunity on console. I honestly think even WoW could convert successfully over to console, and then that would dominate the console space. But I would also love to hear if I missed an MMO on console. Maybe there are some good ones out there and I've just never gotten around to it, because that's a very real possibility. For the time being, I think New World is going to continue to be my go-to MMO on console. For a long time on my channel, I was doing a lot of MMO content. I'm someone that really does very much enjoy MMO style games. If you guys would like to see more content like that on this channel, let me know. Drop a comment. As most of you know, a lot of my channel is geared towards Helldivers, but I really think MMOs complement a game like that so well. Helldivers is that game that I play with a cup of coffee and I really lock in, where an MMO is something I can play at the end of the night as I'm winding down. I really enjoy the balance of both. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much. If you did make it all the way through this video, drop a comment and subtly incorporate a Marvel superhero reference. That way I'll know that you're a real one and I will really appreciate you, and I'll get back to you for sure on your comment. Thanks guys, you guys are the absolute best. Please go ahead and have an absolute wonderful rest of your day. Peace.